Welcome to Chem 102 Made Simple. And basically, we all know that this semester we'll be focusing the general every stuff you'll be doing about chemistry this semester is based on organic chemistry and stereochemistry. So we'll be learning what organic chemistry is all about in general. We'll be learning about the unique properties of carbon compounds, which is the major bedrock as far as organic chemistry is concerned. We'll be talking about the alkanes, that is the hydrocarbons, and we'll also talk about what hybridization. So we'll be taking it step by step. So today, from the introduction, we are also going to talk about hybridization, which will move on to the next one as we will proceed. So we are going to start with what we're going to say organic chemistry. I'm going to say what about organic chemistry, right? We'll say organic what chemistry, and we'll start right away. So what do you understand by what organic what chemistry? Note that chemistry as what a science is divided into two main what branch. We have the word organic chemistry, and we also have the word inorganic what chemistry. So when we talk about the organic chemistry, which is our major area of focus, the organic chemistry is what a branch of chemistry that studies what carbon, that is based on what carbon and it was compound. So we say a branch, organic chemistry is what a branch of chemistry. It's a branch of chemistry. So I'm going to say this is my chemistry. It's a branch of chemistry that is based on the study of what? On the study of what? Carbon what? Compounds. On the study of what? Carbon what? Compounds. But it doesn't just end there when it comes to what? Organic what? Chemistry. It is more broad than just covering what? Organic what? Than just covering carbon what? And its what? Compounds. It also based on what? Carbon, study of carbon compounds and its derivatives. And its derivatives. And it was derivatives. Now these derivatives can be what? Oxygen. It can be what? Oxygen. It can be what? Hydrogen. Can be hydrogen, it can be what? Nitrogen, etc. So organic chemistry is the branch of chemistry that studies what carbon containing compound and its what derivatives, which is what oxygen, hydrogen, and what nitrogen. It continues as we move on. You get to know more of its what derivatives. So let's talk about the importance of organic chemistry. We are going to move on step by step. Importance of organic what chemistry. The importance of organic what chemistry. Now the importance of organic chemistry, it can be used in medicine. So we say medicine. Say medicine. We say petroleum. Petroleum, right? And we say what? Agriculture. Agriculture. So these are the what importance of what organic what chemistry. Although it spans more than this, it spans more than medicine, it spans more than petroleum, it spans more than what agriculture. But these are the top three. Should I say the top three importance as far as what organic chemistry is what concerned? Note that the major constituent or the major bedrock of organic chemistry, which we are talking about, is what carbon. Is what carbon. So carbon. When we talk about organic chemistry, the first thing that should come to your mind should be what? Carbon. So what we are just talking about is what? The importance of this what? Organic chemistry, which is what? Carbon, can be used in what? Medicine, petroleum, and in what? Agriculture. Let's move on to another important aspect as far as organic chemistry is what concerned. Excuse me to clean some of this. As far as organic chemistry is concerned, this aspect is what will come out in your exam. First, you are watching this video and you are in Unical 100 level, second semester. These are the questions you cannot what, avoid. So in the course of my teaching, I will also be revealing some of these key points and what exam focus where you are supposed to what, be prepared on as far as you will be writing your what, exam. Unique properties or unique nature of what carbon. Note we are talking about what carbon. Like I say, when I talk about organic chemistry, what should come to your mind should be what carbon. So when we say unique nature of carbon, so let's say unique nature of carbon. We say what unique nature of what carbon. So concerning the unique nature of what carbon, one of the most unique nature of carbon is a concept that is known as what catenation. This concept is known as what catenation. It's a very unique concept when you talk about what carbon. A lot of you might have seen something like this before. You might have seen something like this, and it continues, right? You might have even seen something where some of them even branch like this, things like this. You have even seen a lot of stuff like this where you see carbon sharing with what each other, right? I just mentioned something. I said carbon sharing, right? I'm going to get back to it. But you have seen where carbon form long chains like this, right? It can form long chains like this. It can form what long branch what chains like this also. Now this concept is what is known as what catenation. So to put it down into writing, if you want to write, catenation is the ability of carbon to form long chains and rings with what other what carbon. So catenation, this is the what? This is the ability. This is the ability of carbon. This is the ability of what carbon. This is the ability of what carbon. Please take note of this ability of carbon to form what long chains, and not just long chains. It can also form what rings, long chains and rings with other what and rings with other carbon. So this is what is known as what catenation with other what carbon. Like I said, this is major what example. The ability of carbon to form what long chains. These chains can what be long, right? Can go on. Note 1, 2, 3, 4, what 5. It can be 1, 2, 3. Can be what 1, 2. So the ability of this carbon to form what long straight chains or long branch chains or what rings with other carbons is what is known as what catenation. Please take note of that. We also have another unique property of carbon, which is known as what tetravalency. Tetravalency. We have number 2, which is what tetra what valency. So the tetravalency is the ability of carbon to form 4 covalent bonds with other atoms. You see the ability of a carbon forming what 4 covalent bond, 4 covalent bond, forming 4 covalent what bonds with other what atoms, with other atoms. So I just mentioned something. I say covalent bond. This is a very important concept as far as organic chemistry is concerned, and we are going to talk about it. It says the ability of what carbon forming what 4 covalent bonds with other what atoms. So we are going to focus on this bond when the time comes. But for now, we are just talking about the unique nature of what this what carbon. We also have what the third property, which is what multiple what bonding. Multiple what bonding. Have you seen that this bonding is appearing twice? This bonding is appearing here in tetravalency, and it's also appearing in the third unique nature of what carbon, which is what multiple what bonding. So this is just it. These are the 3 what unique nature of what carbon, but emphasis is always laid on what catenation. Emphasis is always laid on what catenation, and this is where you always see your exams coming out. You always see questions in your exams what coming out as far as what catenation is what concerned. As far as organic chemistry is concerned, you will always what see questions based on what this. So let's also move on to the next important aspect, which is what classification. We have what classification, right? We have what classification. I hope you have taken note of the unique nature of what carbon. So let's move on to the classification. We are trying to go from step to step so that you won't get lost. Knowing fully well that organic chemistry is something that is what broad, but we want to what take it what step by what step so that everybody what follow what allow. We have what the classification. We have the word classification, right? Now in the classification, we have one of the most important classification, which is the word hydrocarbons. Which is the word hydrocarbons. I know you might have heard something like alkanes, alkynes, methane, ethane, and stuff like that, right? Now, all those stuffs are being grouped into what? 3, right? And those 3 groups are what are known as what? Hydrocarbons. We have the word alkanes, we have the word alkenes, and we have the word alkynes. When you start hearing stuff like methane, ethane, propane, pentane, and the rest, these are all members of the word families. Can be members of the alkanes family, can be members of the alkanes family, can be members of the alkynes word family. So the first one we have here is the word hydrocarbons. So we say number 1, which is what the hydro what carbons, right? You have the word hydro what carbons. So basically, like I said, we have what three what hydro what carbons, right? I think we have the three hydro what carbons. We have number one, which is what the alkanes. I'm going to say here, we say alkanes. We say what alkanes, and we say what alkynes. Alkanes, and what alkynes. Now these are the three what hydro what these are the three what hydro what carbons, right? Now we have what the alkanes. The alkanes are known as what saturated what hydrocarbons. So you say alkanes, saturated what hydrocarbons. The alkanes are saturated with hydrocarbons, while the alkenes and alkynes, taking note that here is what A, here is what E, and here is what Y. The alkenes and the alkynes are what are known as what the unsaturated hydrocarbons. Unsaturated hydrocarbons. So the alkenes and alkynes are what is known as what the unsaturated what hydrocarbons. We also have another important aspect as far as what organic chemistry is concerned, and that is what is known as what the functional what groups. You might have heard about it, the functional group. The functional group, it is one important what aspect of organic chemistry where we get to know where which one is what which. Things like the word alcohol, things like the word esters, things like the word acetic what acid. It is through their functional group that we can see what a particular structure on the board, and we say, all right, this is for what this. Let's say we have something like this on the board. Let's say we have something like this on the board, right? We have something like this on the board. Now you will not know what is what this, right? You don't know what is what this, but the only thing that will enable us to know from this structure where this structure belongs to is what this what OH, right? And this OH shows us that it is the what functional what group. So we have here, we have what 1 2, right? We know that 1 2 is what ethane, right? 1 2 is what ethane, but we cannot just pronounce this structure as what ethane. We cannot just pronounce the structure as what ethane because there's what a OH here, right? OH. That means the name of this is going to what change, and I'm going to tell you how you can be able to name this, right? In our subsequent what videos, I will show you how to name this, because this one that is ethane is no longer going to be ethane, but it's going to be what is known as what the ethanol. Is now going to be known as what ethanol. So gradually we are going to know about it more, but the only way we can get to differentiate this is through the word functional word group. So like I said, we have the word through the classification. That's number one, right? Number two classification is the word functional word groups, right? We say word two, we have, let's use the word functional word groups. We have the word functional word groups, right? Let me check whether I have anything here for all of us. All right, we have the word functional groups. We have the word functional word groups. So when we want to talk about the functional groups, we have lots and lots of what functional group, which is very, very important as far as organic chemistry is concerned, that you be able to note them. But we are going to talk about it in our subsequent word videos as our lectures continue. I don't want to just bombard you with what everything what today. So in our subsequent videos, you're getting to know these functional groups. We have many of them: the esters, the amines, the alcohol, the acetic acid, the carboxylic acid, the methylamine, and the rest is plenty. So we also have the third, which is what the bonding. Remember I talked about bonding, and now I'm talking about bonding again. Although right now I'm not going to go deep into it, because we are still going to go deep into it. Bonding is what like a special son or like a special child that we are supposed to what treat. So we have here bonding, right? So you have our bonding. So the bonding, right? Now what is what bonding? We all know that the major reason of bonding is to attain what stability, right? Is to attain what stability, is to attain what an octet state. An octet what state is to also attain what a duplet what state, right? A duplet was state, right? So this is the major reason of what bonding. Elements undergo bonding in order to attain what a stability, in order to attain what an octet state, in order to attain what a balanced what state. So that is what bonding is all about. But when it comes to organic chemistry, like I said, in our next video we are going to talk about this bonding into what into two, right? We are going to talk about bonding in a very simplified manner, where you are going to understand the type of bond carbon undergoes. kind of bonding carbon what undergoes and the two types of bonding carbon what undergoes. It's very important that you follow up this series one by one. So we also have what the formulas, right? We also have formulas, right? We have the structural formula, right? Let's say number 4, which is what the structural what formula. So when we say structural formula, it's simply the representation. Remember, I've done something like this. Remember, I just did something like this, right? I just did something like this, right? Remember, there was a time I also did something like this, right? Now, these are all based on what structural or formulas. Now, structural formulas is simply what the arrangement of what atoms, the arrangement of these what atoms. When we say structure, right? So this is my structure. So this is who I am, right? This is how I am. That's the same thing we are talking about with carbon. How you want to what represent them, the structure you want to represent that word particular formula. So we say the structural word formula. And knowing fully well, please note, in organic chemistry, we have two ways you can be able to represent what structures, right? First, organic chemistry is concerned, we have two ways you can be able to represent what structures. Number one, we have the word condensed structure, and number two, we have the word calculate word structure. So we say structural formula, we have the word condensed structure, you have the word condense and what the calculate structure. Now this calculate structure is also known as what the skeletal or structure. So we say calculate or skeletal because there are some textbooks that you read or some people that want to talk to you, they will not be using the calculate structure, they'll be using the skeletal structure. Please, you don't have to be what confused. While there will be some people that will be talking to you, they will be using the word skeletal structure. Please don't be confused because the calculate and the word skeletal structures are one and the same word thing. So please take note of what that. Now the condensed structure applies. Let's say this is your what notebook, right? This is your what notebook, and the only place you have to write in your notebook is what this small what line, and you are being given a particular what structure. You note that it will be hard for you to represent what structures. You understand? It will be hard for you to represent this what structures. You get? So you're already moving out of the what notebook, right? You're already moving out of the notebook, right? So the condensed structure, like the name says, condense simply means what to what simplify, right? So the condensed structure is simply what a simplified what structure. So this same thing that is here, C, right? The CH3, CH2, and CH3. This is it here. Let me show you what is there on the board. This is it, right? This is it, right? And this is it, right? So this is what is on the board. Have you seen the way I've been able to represent them? This same thing is here, this same thing is here. So that if I write like this, because of there is no word space, I can easily still disembark this word structure because I can say I have 3 word hydrogen, right? Bonding this particular carbon, right? I say I can, okay, this is what 2, right? I can also write my hydrogen, right? I say, okay, sorry, we have my carbon, right? There's 2 hydrogen, right? So we can say, okay, we can see, say, okay, we can see go, there's another carbon here, we have 3 hydrogen, right? So we say 3 hydrogen. So you can see that I'll be able to represent the structure. But this one is not as what the skeleton I'll be able to tear, right? That's one skeleton. Imagine seeing our skeleton, right? So that is just the naked word aspect of the word structure, and this one is the word the packaging or the word simplified structure, so that you will know what you will not waste plenty of your word books. So that is just how we what it is. So this is basically the fundamentals of what organic word chemistry, and in our subsequent videos we'll be touching what each of what them. So we are going to move it in a series understanding this introduction to organic chemistry. We'll move us to another aspect of chemistry which is known as what hybridization. So we are going to watch it in our next video where we are going to talk about hybridization and the different types of what hybridization. We will also talk about the bonding and the types of bonding that is involved in what organic what chemistry. So until I see you in the next series, please stay tuned. Thank you.